I've been using castor oil for 9 months now. I'm 46 years old. I am not a medical professional or anything like that, just a regular gal who's had children, who's aging, who has set out to try this for 1 year. And today I wanted to give you my 9-month update. Hi there, and welcome to my channel. I'm Liz. And today I wanted to go over my personal 9-month journey of using castor oil. I would say daily, mostly daily. There might have been a couple days that I missed over the last 9 months, but I would say probably 98% of the time. So I have been very consistent, and it has been easy for me because I have seen so many great effects, and I have kind of made it a habit in my nighttime routine. So I did want to go over what this is not. So this is my disclaimer because I have done a couple videos on castor oil, and I do get a lot of the same comments. So I do not have before and after photos because I wasn't set out to test anything, to prove anything, or to sell you anything. So I started this whole thing off just trying it, and then in hindsight, had all these amazing effects, and that is where the first video came from. And in that video, I didn't recommend any product, and I had thousands of comments asking what I use. So I will share what I use. I'm not pushing it. I'm not saying that you need to use that. I will let you know, what I recommend, but I have no skin in this game. Like, I'm just sharing my personal experience in case it helps you, because it's helped me, because I am 46, I am aging, I have had children. I am tired of all the chemically things that we're told to put on our body. And so I was very happy to find something natural that seems to work well. And so I'm just sharing it. That's all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a medical professional in any way, just a normal woman who is sharing her story. And that's it. So try it. I would say give it a try. It's not that expensive, $20 to $40 to give it a try and see if it helps you. I don't know. I think that's worth that investment in your own personal health. So let's get into it. So now, after using the castor oil daily for almost 9 months, I am very clear, I think, on what it is and is not doing. Now, for full disclosure, I do have a skincare regimen. So you, again, can take what you will from that. So I have used both. I was using my skincare routine probably almost about a year before the castor oil. Before that, I didn't do anything for a long time. And so to me, it's clear. In my first video, I wasn't sure if it was the exact culprit of all of these amazing things that were happening. But now, after using it for so long and not changing anything, I am sure of it. So I would say that one of the more recent things that I have noticed that it has improved is actually my hairline around my face. So I never have put it in my hair. I'm not against that. I just haven't done it yet because I'm always busy doing other things with my hair. But I put it on my face every night, and I notice that my hairline is thicker, and that's just by, I think, result of some getting in there from consistent use. So I think that is just an amazing side effect, and I wanted to share that in case, I know a lot of ladies deal with, especially aging, or maybe after you've had a child, with, hair thinning around your face. So, I would suggest maybe putting it in your hair if you do have thinning hair. I do not have that issue, so I haven't really been that motivated to try it in that way, but I have noticed going into number 2, my benefit number 2 is, since I do put it all over my face, my eyelashes have never been longer and thicker. This was probably the very first benefit that I noticed when using it right away after the first 60 days that I was using it. And I have struggled with sparse eyelashes probably the last 20 years. So I know this is a direct result of the castor oil, because in my 20s and 30s, I would always opt to wear fake eyelashes, either the strip lashes I did or the individuals you put on, or I've even gone and gotten the professional lashes applied, because my eyelashes were so short, and just like I never had any in the kind of inner part of my eye. And so now I have like, I feel normal, healthy eyelashes, and I directly attribute that to my consistent castor oil use. My benefit number 3, and I am sure this is from the castor oil, is my skin is clearer. So I do crazy things. You know, I'm out in the sun, I wear makeup, I sweat just like everybody else. And I would say because of my consistent castor oil use, I want to say I haven't had any acne or blemishes or anything like that. And I would always, maybe at least once or twice a month, just I think hormonally, I would get a, pimple or two, or maybe if I didn't wash well somewhere, I would get a pimple. Since I've had the castor oil, that has not happened. So it's almost like a insurance plan, like a backup plan, right? If you maybe don't clean your face well, or maybe have some hormonal issues going on, it kind of keeps it clearer because of its antimicrobial and antifungal properties. I don't know why, what else, nothing else has changed. It has to be the castor oil. Now, a question I get asked all the time is, does it help with wrinkles? Now, I don't do Botox or anything, okay? I'm not against Botox, but I haven't gotten it since I was 37, 38. So quite a while now. I'm 46 and I'm aging. Obviously, I'm not really good about wearing sunblock either. So, I have wrinkles. I also eat sugar. I know I have the sugar skin. And so do I think it helps with wrinkles? Personally, I would say no. So I have to say no. I don't feel that it has reduced my wrinkles, but what I will say is it has given my skin like a suppleness. So it definitely feels way more moisturized. I would say that's it. It feels more moisturized, which maybe has in turn softened some of the fine lines. So I will say that just my overall skin quality is better. It is better since using the castor oil, but is it a wrinkle eraser? No, I don't think so. Only because I have used, in the past I have used Botox and filler, and those are like big guns. They really do things. So comparing it to that, I have to say no, it hasn't been like notable, but my skin quality overall for, I guess I would say from 38 to 46 now is definitely improving, and I am excited to continue using it and see what happens. Oh, and putting in with the skin health, I did want to mention my overall texture and tone. So something that I mentioned in one of my castor oil videos that I don't want lost, because it actually, even more than the wrinkles, what I have felt it actually has done is minimize my pore look, appearance. So my pore size is something that I have struggled with always, like I guess since I was a teenager. And so then in my 20s and things, I would do, different primers and pore minimizers and things like that, and nothing seemed to help. I do feel that it's less of an issue. It's less of an issue. And the only thing that I've changed is adding in the castor oil. I also felt it has improved the overall skin discoloration. I used to get really bad purple in the inner eye, and I used to have bad discoloration on my jawline here. And while I still have those, even today, I didn't use color corrector here. I didn't put on extra layers of, any kind of makeup here. So I just do a thin layer these days. So my skin quality, texture, everything is definitely improving. Okay, and benefit number 5 that I have enjoyed is its detoxing abilities. I have witnessed this firsthand, the detoxing. So when I first started using it, if you watch that video, I mentioned that I started to smell, which I don't have that problem. And I actually have like smell sensitivity to bad smells. So I might've been hypersensitive to it, but I could definitely tell that I was like smellier when I first started using it. And I continue to use it and push through that. That does go away if you're experiencing that. And what I attribute that to is a detoxification. So along with getting out any trapped toxins in your skin, in your cells, which I believe it does, it also is very clearly documented that it gets your bowels moving. And I only use it topically. That's another question that I've been asked a lot. Do I ingest it? I do not. I never have. I only have ever used it topically and consistently to see these benefits. And so I have seen detoxification help just applying it topically. Another great benefit, I believe, is it helps in joint health. So I am very good about putting it on my elbows and my knees. So I just like to keep that area healthy because I know as you age, those areas wear down. And over the years, there'd be times when I would get some kind of like minor injury, like anybody does, right? But I have found that, oh, and I put it on my ankles too. So my ankles, my knees, my elbows, those are my main joints that I focus on because I know that those wear down. I know that those are common like aging ailment, areas. And so I have been applying it to those areas. I haven't had any issues with any kind of weird injuries, which did seem to happen to me before. So that's kind of a newer one, and why not give it a try? Okay, and benefit number 7 that I have enjoyed and I completely attribute to the castor oil is my improved, or I would say sustained, eye health. So backing up, the first clear help it has been is in dry eyes. I used to be the kind of person who would have eye drops everywhere. So I had to keep them by my bed, keep them by my computer, keep them in my purse because my eyes would get so dry from, either being on my phone, from working on my computer, or just whatever, getting older. My eyes were just so dry all the time. And since using castor oil, I maybe have used eye drops twice in the last 9 months. That's amazing. From being someone who was practically addicted to using them because I would just, how it feels when you wake up with really dry eyes. Like it's kind of painful. So I used to always have to do that. I find I don't have to do that any longer. And then I can't remember the last time I've needed my glasses. So I haven't been a lifelong glasses wearer. I only started to need eyeglasses in my later 30s. And every year it seemed that my vision was getting worse and worse, which is normal, I guess, when you're aging. But that was something that always bugged me. And I have found this year that it seems to be pretty stable. So I haven't felt the need to grab my glasses. I do go to the eye doctor once a year, usually in about like October, November. So on my 1-year update, I'll let you know what the doctor says about my eyesight. So make sure you subscribe so that you're notified when that video comes out. All right, and benefit number 8 is, I'm gonna say it helps with rashes. So I'm gonna put that in a basket and let you know how it's helped me specifically. And I would say if you have any kind of rash, try it out. So just weird things that would happen to me before don't anymore, or way less often. So I, in general, have sensitive skin. I have had issues, severe issues with eczema. I know that's gut related, and a lot of you have told me that, but I have found, in spite of gut issues and what I am or am not eating, regular use of the castor oil has minimized the effects. Like as soon as I start getting, an itch anywhere, I put it on. And I think because of its antimicrobial and antifungal properties and all of the vitamins that it has in it, it really will nip it in the bud. Now you do have to be consistent. And you do want to put it on thin, not thick, because that can also lead to other issues of having too much moisture. So that is another tip. If you have, you know, be careful if you're putting it in like the folds of your skin or anything like that. You do want to do it thinly. You might want to use a cotton with it so that it's not just sitting skin on skin being moisturized, because I have had an issue with that too, going a little too overboard. So, you know, more is not necessary, just consistency is. And, you know, with sensitive skin, with eczema, I have found castor oil to be hugely beneficial. And since it's natural, it's something that I, you know, don't mind putting on every day instead of using something like a steroid cream regularly. I think the castor oil is definitely a better choice to try if you are having the same issue. Okay, next up, I want to talk about what I personally do and don't do. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I'm just sharing what I do in case it helps you. You give it a try and, you know, see if it works for you. So I wanted to let you know, through all of this, I personally do not ingest it. I get asked this all the time. I don't take it internally at all in any way. I never have, not even once, not even 1 tablespoon. I've heard a lot of great stories from you all that, you know, you took it as a child and the great benefits, and I've heard great benefits from it. I'm not against that at all. I just personally have not done that to get all the benefits that I have. So again, I think just applying it over large areas of your body consistently is going to give you effects. That's going to seep in. Anything you're using on your entire body is going to get into your bloodstream, in my opinion. And so that has been good enough. Another question I get asked all the time is, does it matter if it's a plastic bottle or a glass bottle? I would say I don't know from any kind of scientific standpoint, but I personally choose to use glass. Now, I know some manufacturers maybe that you've been using may switch to plastic because I'm sure it's cheaper to ship in plastic than glass. I personally opt for a glass bottle, so I'm not going to push any kind of castor oil. Again, I will link below the ones that I have used and a couple other sizes of glass bottles. If a manufacturer sends you something in plastic and you didn't think it was going to be in plastic, send it back, because, you know, sometimes it's not clear, sometimes you miss it, and I would opt for my castor oil to come from a glass bottle. Now, sometimes it does feel a little thicker, a little stickier, and what I would suggest with that is cut it with another oil that you choose, another oil that you like. There's so many beneficial oils, and I would say dependent on what your need is, go for that. So you can do a bunch of oils like I tried. I will link my little short below of my last concoction that I had been using. And then some people were concerned about the pump. The pump is plastic. I have not found a pump that isn't plastic, and I've looked. So, you know, there is going to be a little bit of plastic. It usually is food grade. I think it's fine. If you hate that completely, just use the top it comes with and pour it in your hand and apply it that way. I don't mind that little bit of plastic. I haven't seen any issues with that. So that's going to be up to you. Oh, and I did want to add, you can even cut it with water. So sometimes right when I get out of the shower while I'm still wet, like especially for my legs, if I don't want to do, you know, put on my aloe or something, I'll just put the castor oil on real quick mixed with the oil. Obviously it doesn't mix, it's separate, but the way it absorbs and goes on is a little slipperier. You're obviously applying less. So it's just a different feeling. So maybe try doing that if you don't have other oils or you don't want to use other oils, is right after you get out of the shower, just get a little bit and just start slathering it on like lotion. Another thing I have found is I prefer to use it at night. I prefer to use it at night. It gives it time to soak in. I don't have to deal with it getting in my hair when my hair's done or getting on my clothes that I'm going to be wearing. So I just prefer to use it at night. That's what I recommend. I usually do it before bedtime, and that seems to work out just fine for me. Now, going along with that, probably the second most asked question is, doesn't it ruin your pajamas and sheets? Now, I have been using it a long time. At first, when I was getting this question, I was like, no, like what, why? I was wearing, you know, my thicker sweatpants and things in the winter, so I was completely covered. As I moved to spring and summer, I was wearing some of my thinner microfiber and cotton things. And I think on a couple, and it was more due to the color in the clothes, the oil would seep off my skin through the pajamas onto my sheet. It wasn't bad though. So I do use white sheets. I recommend any cotton sheet, any microfiber sheet, and in white. And then you can just bleach it. So can it ruin your sheets? Maybe, but you know, this is for your health. So you don't need to have hundreds of dollars sheets. I get mine on Amazon. They're $30, $40. I can bleach them out. It's just fine. They feel fine. They don't stain, and they don't cost a lot if I had to replace them. So that's what I would suggest. You know, if you don't want to use castor oil because you're afraid of it using your bed sheet or ruining your bed sheets, then, you know, then you're choosing your bed sheets over maybe some potential health gains, and that is completely up to you. To me, I would rather risk a $40 sheet set to get all the benefits that I have experienced. So that is up to you. Now, I would say, you know, a cotton or microfiber pajamas and sheets is the way to go. And I haven't had any issues to needing to replace anything or ruining anything in my personal experience. Now, another thing I wanted to suggest, put out there, is the packs. Do I use a pack? Do I suggest a pack? I do use a pack for any issues. So I wouldn't say I have health issues overall, but I do have gallstones that I've known of, that I have had issues in the past. I do have like a nodule in one of my lymph nodes. And so every now and then I will do a castor oil pack for those issues. I haven't had any flare-ups, any progression, any, you know, issues with them getting worse. So I do try to do the packs every now and then, not even often. I think I'm better with the packs in the cooler, obviously, months than in the warmer months. So I think probably going into the last half of the year here, I will, you know, try to get better at that, because I have heard so many stories of it helping a lot of things. So if you haven't seen my first castor oil video, which I will link the playlist below, go watch that video. But really, the comments, I have learned so much from the people commenting in there, how it's helped them, how it's helped others that they've known. Really amazing stories, so check that out. Okay, and how am I using it now? So I have progressed from trying different things, and I think I'll always keep trying different things, because whatever it takes to keep me using it, to keep me consistent, is what I'm going to be doing. So in these warmer months, I would say in June, July, and going, you know, into August, I have not been using it over my entire body as much. I've been more spot treating. And so one thing that has been consistent is, from when I started to even today, is I do use the castor oil straight on my face, all over my face. I rub it on like a lotion, and on my neck. So I will always do that no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing at night. I always do that. So I don't use a lotion at night. That is what I put on top of all of my products as the final step. And on most days, I will put it on my stomach, because I'm always trying to kind of help my intestines and liver and gallbladder and things out. So I commonly put it straight on my stomach, and then I'll do my joints. So I'll just rub it on my elbows, knees, ankles, just like a little bit, so not a lot. And I kind of just do that because having in mind those are like key areas that I want to keep healthy. And so those are, I would say, my go-to all the time things that I do. Now, if I want to get extra moisturized or want to be good about using my castor oil, or even more commonly that has happened to me this year, getting sunburned, I have been using my aloe first. So I'll put it on like a lotion all over, and then I just put the castor oil right on top. So when I very first started, I was putting it in with my concoction, but I had some chemists say, you know, don't mix it because aloe is water-based and, you know, castor oil is oil-based, and you shouldn't mix it because it can get bacteria and things in there. So I use them, but separate, so I don't mix them together. And I've really been enjoying that combo for the warmer months. So hopefully this video was helpful in some way. If I left anything out that you're wondering about, be sure to comment below. And because this channel is actually a fashion channel, but I do care about health and skincare and those kinds of things as well, so I throw those out every now and then. I wanted to share with you my outfit of the day, which is something I do at the end of all of my videos, and this new pinstripe linen dress that I got, I'm just loving, so wanted to throw that in there. I would love it if you would subscribe and check out some of my other videos. I'm always exploring something or into something. I've only been on YouTube like not that long, a little over a year now, year and a half. And it is so great connecting with so many people who care about a lot of the same things that I do. So I wanted to thank you so much for dropping in today and spending some of your time with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one.